Hi, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to my first junk journal in a long time. I don't even know how long it's been, probably over a year. Um, so this month, for February, I decided to join in the Dear Julie Junk Journal Challenge, and it was the Little Golden Book Challenge. And for not for January, but for 2025, the whole year, I am working on my word of the year, which is nourish. And I'm trying to focus more on self-care and doing things that I enjoy and putting some focus on the things that I love to do, which one of them is to play with paper. So this was the perfect thing to jump into in February to get me jump started on really getting back into my fun paper crafting love. So the junk journal, or the golden book that I chose, is the new puppy, and it's still in kind of bad shape. I had to actually put washi tape around the edges. The pages mostly were ripped and drawn on, colored on, and that was one of the reasons I wanted to use it. What inspired me this month was to use an old book that would end up in the trash because it was no good to anyone for reading. But look at this little boy and this dog. Like, it's the most adorable junk journal in the world. And what I did was I embraced the junk part and just, put the washi tape around the edge. I didn't make it perfect. I didn't even try. So I did a lot of scrappy things. I did a lot of distressing. And I just really love how it turned out. So the digitals that I used were mostly the Dear Julie freebies for the past couple of weeks. One of them was called Puppy Love, I think. And I used the most recent one that had, well, it's not the most recent now, but at the time it had these words. And I really love that she has this because you have to use Dear Julie digitals in order to do the challenge. And a lot of the Dear Julie digitals are more of the Victorian, and that's not really the style that I use, but I love incorporating her style into my style because it always ends up being something totally unexpected by me. And that's what happened this time. So I always, 99% of the time when I do her challenges, I use some background papers that I have purchased. It's the pink watercolor background, and I use a lot of the sepia. I think it's Sepia Spring. It's the kit that I bought, and I use a lot of that in my journals. So here is the cover. The cover had to have a Dear Julie digital. That was that one. And it has to have at least 3 things. It has the washi tape. It has the piece of ephemera, the piece of cluster, whatever. I made some cluster strips. We had to make clusters as one of the challenges, and I made cluster strips, and this is actually a piece off of one of the cluster strips. And I used gems, and I did use distress ink. And I love how I accidentally, on purpose, did this. When I stitched it together, I ended up stitching the paper on, and I don't know, I love how it just kind of makes it more flow as one. Okay, so here is the front. I need to make something to go in here still, but I didn't have anything in my pre-made things from the challenge, and I just wanted to give it time to think about what I wanted to put. But that is a Dear Julie digital as well from that puppy freebie. The puppy came out of one of the pages, so all the pages that were torn and drawn on, I tried to save what I could off of them and use them in here. So I used every single piece of the book in here, but there's not necessarily many whole pages. This also came off of a page. This is a cluster, and it's a game piece. It's a domino, probably a freebie from somewhere, and another digital off of the words. Like I said, I love those. This was a polka dot background. It's also a Dear Julie digital, and I used a piece of fabric, a piece of twine, and just put that together. It's one of my favorite clusters that I made. This came from a Dear Julie freebie. I used these. I used the tape, and this is the plaid page. And on the back of the plaid page, there's a few of my ephemera pieces. So this is the flashcard. This was a mini that came in a little pre-made kit of kids coloring stuff. And on the back of this, polka dots. But I'm pretty sure this was for the flashcard. And then this is just an extra from one of her freebies. And that's the same freebie I used there for my digital. And then I used a piece of the flashcard here. This is a piece of my bubble paper, but this is not part of the challenge. This was just some leftovers. And then I clipped this piece of ephemera on hidden journaling space. And there's the little boy. There's a Dear Jilly Jilly digital, as well as stripes. And there's a Dear Jilly Jilly digital here. And of course I used washi tape and distress ink. And it kind of made my, because she has you to put 3 extras on everything. And so the distress ink really helps with that, because there's 1 right there. And so that kind of helps out with that challenge, part of the challenge. So this was my coloring book page. And this was a free little book that came in a kid's meal of some kind. I think Chick-fil-A maybe, that I had laying around. So I just used this Dear Jilly Jilly digital, some washi tape, distress ink, made a pocket. And that's my, I guess you could say that's my journaling space. I consider this journaling space. All this white can be journaling space. I used washi tape and I used jewels. And then this is a piece of ephemera using numbers. And this was a worksheet that I had for, I'm a teacher, so this is a worksheet I had for work that was left over, and I had it in my stuff, and I just said, well, there's numbers. So I used, this is also out of that same coloring book, some jewels, a brad, and then the hidden journaling space is right here, and that's a Dear Jilly Jilly digital. And that's the pink watercolor one that I was talking about. I just love it because I can use it for just about anything. I can use it as a background, I can use it as a digital, I can just use it a lot. This was out of a Mary Engelbreit book, and I was originally going to use this for my nursery rhyme ephemera, and I never did use it, so I put it in here as just a little extra piece to tuck in there. This is just a page I made out of some of my ephemera that I had to make. So this was a tag I made with the ABCs, Dear Jilly Jilly digital. There's some washi tape, of course my inking, some fabric, and some twine, a pocket made from a, this is actually the bottom of a greeting card, and I just thought it was perfect, like the colors, it has the stripes, but it is actually the bottom of a greeting card, even though it's kind of hard to tell. This is that polka dot Dear Jilly Jilly, that's the Dear Jilly Jilly digital, washi tape jewels. This is a piece off of the cluster strip I made using, it looks like music paper, and some Dear Jilly Jilly digitals. This is the bubble page. So for the bubbles, I used Kool-Aid powder and mixed it with water, some Dawn dish detergent. I blew bubbles and I just set my paper on top. That was all I had. I couldn't find any paint. I got rid of a lot of my paints and my watercolors, and now I'm kind of kicking myself that I got rid of all of my paint supplies. I should have at least kept a few for fun, for doing journals. But anyway, this is Dear Jilly Jilly digitals, washi tape, polka dot paper, and this is my bubbles page. This is the other side of that plaid page. This is my coloring book ephemera. So I use this and this out of the coloring book. This is the Dear Jilly Jilly digital. That is as well. On the other side, that came out of the coloring book, You see some more Dear Jilly Jilly digitals kind of hidden throughout. And the hidden journaling space, I hope this counts. If not, I can add a piece. But this is my hidden journaling space. I camouflaged it. Get it? The turtle. Camouflage the leaves. So I camouflaged it with the other papers to make it hidden. So I hope that counts for the challenge. I think it will. As long as I did it intentionally, I think that's what matters. This is the top of that same greeting card from back here. So that's the other part to the greeting card, and that's just something I just added because I try to use everything that I have. This is an actual page out of the book. And on the back is another page out of the book. This is my writing paper page. This is my Dear Jilly Jilly Digital. I use some distress ink. I use some scrapbook paper, and I use some washi tape. Another coloring page, and I used a lot of those. This is just a Dear Jilly Jilly Digital that I had left over from the pages I used, and I just thought it would be pretty right here. And I added, I added some extras to some of the top of the pages because when I did the holes, I don't know how I did it, but these two signatures were up way higher than the front two signatures when I sewed them in. And so I tried to blend it by adding things to the top of some of my pages in my first two signatures to kind of camouflage that. This is the ephemera, no, the cluster for, what's their cluster for? Maybe it's the ephemera for the nursery rhyme. Anyway, because there was a list 1 and list 2. One of them you had to have a cluster, an ephemera, and a page. And in the other list, you only had to have a ephemera and a page. And I think this is actually the ephemera, but it's a cluster. That is the ephemera, if you get that. So I used a nursery rhyme book, Disney nursery rhyme book that I had. This is Dear Jilly Jilly paper. And I added things to it. This is the back of my candy wrapper page. So there's a candy wrapper page coming up. This is my Valentine page. I cut this Valentine. I printed him. It's a vintage Valentine I printed from online. And I really wanted to incorporate some of the vintage, like I said, so that the Dear Jilly Jilly blends in with, you know, some of my newer type things. And so I just glued him on. And this is my journaling space, extra space. And that's a Dear Jilly Jilly digital. And some blank pages. This is my polka dot page, right? Yes. No. This is not my polka dot page. My bad. This is my game piece page. So it's the Monopoly money. This is an I Spy game card that I made into the pocket. And then I used the little boy. This page was in really bad shape. And so Spot, I think, had been colored all over. So I cut Spot out and I just put him on there. This is one of my clusters. Like I said, I made cluster strips with some of it. And this is my number one. As you can see all the numbers. This is my this is my candy wrapper. Yeah, that's my candy wrapper page. But then I glued my candy wrapper page to my white page just to make a pocket to put this ephemera in. That's what it was. So this is my candy wrapper page. And second guessing myself. No, that is. Okay. There's washi tape. There's Dear Jilly Jilly Digital. There's Jules. That's the Dear Jilly Jilly Digital. And then like I said, I glued it down to make a pocket. And I think I wasn't thinking about that being my page when I did it. But it's still a page because that's the page. Okay. Okay, so there. I just love this image. So I put it on the back of my nursery rhyme ephemera. There's my hidden journaling space. And that puppy, does it not look like it's the same puppy? I used some stamps. I used some distress ink. I used some jewels. And so there's my hidden journaling space. And next, the other coloring book page. More writing paper. Another page out of the book. Okay, so this is my letter page. So here's the letters. My boy, Dear Jilly Jilly Digital. My washi tape, and I made it into a pocket page, and in the pocket is my candy wrapper ephemera, which I basically on both, I glued the candy wrapper to a piece of scrapbook paper, let it dry, and then I turned it into things. I turned this one into a little booklet. This is a Dear Jilly Jilly Digital, some washi tape, there is some distress ink, there's some jewels, and then here's my hidden journaling right here. And then, like I said, I have it, yeah, attached. No, I had it. How did I have it attached? I don't remember now. But anyway, I had it attached some kind of way with a paper clip. So I'll go back to that later. All right, and then this is my this here is my nursery rhyme page, and these are nursery rhymes, and here's a nursery rhyme. And inside I just put the a tag, that's the journaling space. There's journaling space as well. And then this is my cluster that I used on the page later, but at first this was my page. Then I added the cluster later. So this cluster is pretty sure it's my flashcard cluster. It's flashcard, or it could be my bubble cluster. I'm not sure right now, but there it is. This is my flashcard page. No, I already did a flashcard ephemera, right? So it must be my bubble ephemera. Once again, I took one of the little pictures out of that coloring book, and I made it into a little card. And I made a little tag. That's my Dear Julie Julie Digital. And that's part of the page. And then this journaling space as well as on the back of my tags. This is just a Dear Julie Julie Digital that I had. This is my polka dot page. This is the Dear Julie Julie Digital. This is as well. Washi tape, distress ink, jewels. So like I said, everything, just about everything has a washi tape, distress ink, jewels. I like to just keep it kind of streamlined so that I don't forget to put 3. This is a cluster made from writing paper. And this is my cluster for primary colors. This is my page for shape. And this is a Dear Julie Julie Digital, and I colored it with colored pencils. I was inspired by one of her videos. And fabric, washi tape, jewels, distress ink. You know the drill. Okay. This is the original card that was in the back of the book. And this is my stripe page. I just put the card. I put some jewels. This is the Dear Julie Julie Digital. This actually came out of the book. I like to put the little copyright thing, and I like to put the card anytime that there's one in the actual original book. I like to put it in the journal somewhere. This is, I think, a flashcard cluster. The other half of the nursery rhyme page. My battery on my phone is dying. So, okay, here's my greeting card page. And I've made it simple because the greeting card had that beautiful picture. So I just added 3 things. There's the journaling space, Dear Julie Julie Digital, distress ink. Oh, corner rounder. I did that on a lot of things. Washi tape, jewels. This is my number page. This is a Dear Julie Julie Digital. This came out of the coloring book, etc., etc. This is one of my favorites here. This was my flashcard ephemera. So if I said something else was it, this is it. I made a pocket out of it. I thought it was so cute. I put 3 flashcards together, glued them to a piece of scrapbook paper, made it into a pocket. So there is distress ink. There is washi tape. This is my Dear Julie Julie Digital. And there is scrapbook paper here. And I think that's it. Okay, and then this is just a piece out of the book. This is my Valentine ephemera with my hidden journaling space. And there's the Dear Julie Julie Digital. This is Dear Julie Julie paper, but it's not, I mean, you can't really tell it's a Dear Julie Julie Digital, but it is. But this came from it too. I didn't like using just the words. So if you notice, I kind of combine the words with another digital most of the time. Not all the time, but like this, you know it's hers because of the thing. But that, you can't really tell that's her digital. So I kind of, okay, so anyway. This is the music paper page. There's my my journaling. That's journaling space as well. There's the puppy out of the book. Dear Julie Julie Digital. Distress ink. Washi tape. Page out of the book. This, oh, looks like it needs to be repaired already. But this pocket, I think I made it. I put too much in it. But this was the hidden journaling for this pocket. And I'm trying to remember what the pocket was for. Or maybe, no, maybe this is my stripe page. That's the journaling for the stripe page. See, there's an example of the original book, how it was colored on. And that's what this is, the stripe page. So there's my Dear Jilly Jilly Digital. Inside my stripe page is my polka dot ephemera, hidden journaling space, Dear Jilly Jilly Digital, washi tape, inking. This is a Dear Jilly Jilly Digital here as well. And then book page on the back. I should put it this way. So cute. All right. Polka dot ephemera. Or if I can get it open. Might be trying to open the wrong one. Yes. Okay, so my polka dot ephemera. There's my hidden journaling space. Here is my letter ephemera. Hidden journaling space. That's a Dear Jilly Jilly Digital. Close that. My heart or non-rectangular shaped ephemera. It's a little booklet. And the pages are Dear Jilly Jilly Digital. That's that pink watercolor background. And that's the hidden journaling space as well. This is a pocket made from the striped paper. So that's my stripe ephemera, Dear Jilly Jilly Digital. It's fabric jewels. This is just a flashcard that I had in case I needed it, and I didn't need it, so I decided to use it just to put in here as part of the book. My music paper cluster. And my not rectangular shape ephemera, or cluster, I mean. And once again, I was creative with what a cluster is. This is a Dear Jilly Jilly Digital. That's a Dear Jilly Jilly Digital as well. And I used a heart, and then I added that, but it was cluster or collage. Technically, this is collage. It's when you put pieces of paper together to make something. Cluster as well. It's all glued together by pieces of paper. And this is my music paper ephemera, Dear Jilly Jilly Digital, hidden journaling space. And then here's another example of the paper, that how it was written on and colored over. And so I tried to leave some of the original just to give it that personality. And I used the striped paper for the insides. I left the back kind of original. You can see where I took a sticker off. And like I said, I kind of left it as a distressed piece, just as part of the personality of the book. So I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope that you got some ideas. And like I said, my style is different than Dear Jilly Jilly, so I like to showcase it as well to show that you can incorporate her things into any style. And so I'm excited to win the free kit. When you complete your challenge for the month, you get a free kit, and she now has you being part of her design team for the following month with that kit. So that's going to be fun, because I'm going to actually have a chance to show once again how I use her style and mix it with my I have kind of a whimsical, eclectic style, and she has more of an old-fashioned Victorian type style, and yet I can mix that together and make such cute things like this. Like, just, it all, to me, it all flows together so very well, and yet it's totally, it stretches me, and I love it. And so this was so much fun. This was my therapy for February, and I'm probably going to attempt the March challenge as well. This only took me 2 weeks to get done, and so that's amazing, because I work full-time as a teacher. And yeah, I shall see you next time, and I hope you enjoyed. And if so, you know, subscribe and check out some of the other things that I post. I post all kinds of different things on this channel. See you later. Bye.